Hi everyone. I'm going to tell you a little bit about DESMOS and more specifically their Snapshot feature. What is DESMOS? Well, DESMOS is a website which was designed to give all students access to math tools and resources. They have a broad range of math software tools including graphing calculator, scientific calculator, four-function calculators, and so much more. In addition, DESMOS also has activities that teachers can assign to their students. Teachers can see how their students are progressing through the problems in real time. If you follow the link below, it can show you some of the various ways in which you can use DESMOS activities. Today I'm going to show you a little bit more about DESMOS and their Snapshot feature by showing you how I utilize DESMOS to share and compare student work samples within my classroom. DESMOS recently added a new Snapshot tool in order to make it even easier to select and sequence student work for those discussions. Let's take a look at how to set up your own DESMOS account so that you can get started.
All right, everyone, so I'm just going to walk you through the steps on how to find DESMOS, how to log in or sign up, and how to find their Snapshot feature. There are a lot of steps involved, so please feel free while I'm going through this video to open a new tab and follow along. You can also watch this video and then you can go back and try it again after. I will give you time at the end to do that. So once you have a new tab open, you're going to type in DESMOS, DESMOS. You're going to click on the first link available, DESMOS Beautiful Free Math. And then once you get to their website, you're going to have the option to log in if you already have an account or sign up. So when you sign up, you're going to obviously agree to their terms. And then I like to sign up with Google so that everything's connected and linked. But again, that's all based on personal preference. You can sign up with Apple or sign up as a teacher using the personal account or whatever you'd like. Any one of those options is fine. I'm going to go ahead and show you what your screen will look like once you sign up and log in. So as I log in with Google. And once I am on their homepage, you're going to see it looks something like this. You're going to go down to the tab that says Teachers, Browse Activities. As I showed you on the previous slides, there are lots of different things that are available to you through DESMOS. Aside from their calculator functions, they also have collections of activities you can do with your students and assign to your students. So if you ever wanted to check that out, you could just search for an activity here, or their featured collections are along the side on the left. But for the sake of this presentation, I'm going to be teaching you about snapshots. So what you will do next is you will go over here to the left where it says Custom. Now, I already have a custom activity created here, but what you are going to do is you are going to create a new activity. So I'll just walk you through the steps on how to do that. I like to use DESMOS for Ready Math. I like to use it for their Think, Share, Compare routine. So I might title mine Ready Math Activities. And then I like to keep the link turned on, but if you'd like to keep it private, that's totally fine as well. You can add an activity description or you don't have to. Go ahead and click the Create New Activity, and it will take you to the dashboard. This is going to sound silly, but you actually don't want to access snapshots here. So what you are going to do is you're going to go back a screen. And once you see your activity should be underneath custom activities, you're going to click on that. Go ahead and click on your activity. And then you don't have a class code yet. So in order to start using the snapshot feature, you need to actually create a class code. So you're going to click on that, the green button there. And then you'll see that there is a session with some numbers and some letters. You're going to see your view dashboard option, and then you're also going to have these little three dots here where you can send out a student link. You're going to actually, for the sake of this presentation, you're just going to click on view dashboard. And once you're in your dashboard, you can present this to your students. You can say, okay, guys, let's go to student.desmos.com and type in this code so that maybe your kids who are online learning, they want to share their work sample, or you ask them to share a student work sample, they can go ahead and add a picture themselves. I recommend that for the upper grades. I don't know that my first graders are going to be able to handle that quite yet. Maybe not at the beginning of the year. Maybe that's something we work towards, but it is also an option to send a link to them through Google Classroom or whatever means you'd like. So this is just if you want your students to be able to upload their own sample work. This is not for you to have to worry about if you plan on taking pictures of them yourself. So I'm going to click this out. Now, as you look at this, you're going to see this is your teacher dashboard. You're going to click up here to snapshots. Now, you can have some pictures already on your desktop background, but what I have found works best is as I'm teaching a lesson, I give the students a problem, they work through the problem on their whiteboard, and as they're working, I'm taking pictures of the ones that I like to show the class to, or I really like listening to their conversations that they're having so that I can say, oh, this student either had a glorious error or this student did something really different than the rest of the class, and I want to highlight that. So as I'm listening to them have their conversations about their strategies, and as I see them working through their problems, I'm already kind of pre-selecting in my mind what student samples I want to use. So from there, I always email myself a magic link so that I can just quickly take pictures of my phone, and then they automatically show right up on my dashboard. So I'm going to actually go ahead and click email myself a magic link in just a minute, because I want to show you what that looks like on my end as I'm doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this recording, and I'm going to have you get to this point. So go ahead and take a minute to log in, sign up, and get to this point. And in about 1 or 2 minutes, I will show you how to use the magic link to take pictures of student work. Okay, guys, so now that you are on your snapshot page, what we are going to do is we are going to actually practice taking some photos, or I'm going to show you how you can take photos of your student work samples so that you can display them, share them, and then compare them. So I'm going to start out by just emailing myself a magic link. As soon as I click that button, I get an email on my phone from Desmos, and basically it says, it's very simple. It says open dashboard. You click open dashboard, and from there, you're going to get a screen that looks a little something like that. You want the snapshot feature, so you'll click on snapshots, and then from there, it will say add photo. So you're going to go ahead and click add photo with your camera, and I already have some student samples set up, so I'm going to go ahead and take pictures of those, and then you will see them automatically uploaded to the left hand side of my screen in just a moment. So just hang with me 1 second while I take a couple quick photos. And something I want to show you, when you do take a photo, it gives you the option to say okay or retry. So say you don't like it, there's a glare or there's a shadow, you can click retry or you can click okay. And then it also does give you the option to rotate it or change it to black and white. So, for example, if you have a whiteboard that's really colorful, the students use a lot of markers and it's just super overwhelming and distracting, you can change it to black and white. Or for multiple other reasons, you can obviously change it to black and white, or you can rotate it. But all of those turned out okay, so they are automatically uploaded over to the left there. So now that we have them over here, I'm starting to think about why it is that I selected these work samples. Which ones am I going to talk about first, and then which ones am I going to save for maybe later? So I like to think about them in the concrete, the representational, and the abstract. So which of those students you'll use something really concrete, like for example, maybe they drew 18 apples and crossed out 7 of them, or something like that. So I might start with these first because they're pretty concrete. However, you might notice that I have a glorious error in there, and that is why I selected that student sample. When they drew their circles, they drew one too many because they didn't have them arranged in a way that made it easy to count. So that is why I'm going to highlight that one, not to make fun of the student or call them out, but just to bring attention to it and to make sure that they are using strategies that are helpful and that also we can avoid those errors in the future. Then I might move on to my number line and my base 10. So you can add as many to a presentation as you want. You can also just do one per slide, but I like to typically use like 2 or maybe 3 so that we can look at them, talk about them, compare them, and then kind of talk about what things are similar and different. And something else I want to highlight before I go on is that I know that I took those pictures quite quickly. I know that's not very realistic in a classroom setting, but what I am doing during that time typically is having the students sharing their strategy with their partners. So they're kind of rehearsing what it is that they're going to say if I do select them to come up and share their strategy. But with everything with COVID, I might just be having them practice saying their strategy out loud and rehearsing it in that way. Maybe not turning and talking to a partner, but just saying it out loud in maybe a whisper voice or voice level 2. Just to give me the opportunity to take the photos that I need to take, upload them, and then sequence them in the order in which I want them in. So once you have them in the order that you want them, and you can go down to as many different collections as you want, I am doing these 2. You will click present. And I like to have the students come up and share what they did, their strategies, and when you do that, you can make the one strategy that the student is talking about larger for the whole class to see, and so that they're really only focused on that one strategy. Once the student comes up and talks about their strategy, we give them a round of applause or give some snaps, and then we go back and we let the second student come up and share their strategy. After they've shared their strategy, then we talk about things that are the same, things that are different. If there's any glorious errors, we talk about them, we highlight them, we tell them, way to go, how would you do things differently the next time? Thanks for sharing your glorious error with us. And then after we've done that, we move on to the more representational or abstract way of thinking with the number line and the base 10. Sometimes we don't get there. Sometimes I like to use a student sample at the very end that ties very closely to the ready strategy for the day so that they can know that's where we're heading next. So actually, I'm really glad that this student chose this strategy because that's the ready strategy for today. And then on the next slide, I'm sharing with them that strategy that the student actually did. So they really like it when their strategy was the ready strategy of the day. So there is that. That's how I use DESMOS in my math instruction. But really, a lot of it is put on the students. They're the teachers, and I'm just kind of stepping back and letting them kind of run the course of the instruction. And it really works well and lends itself well to the think, share, compare routine. I love it, and I hope that you do as well. Thank you so much for learning about Desmos.
Okay, now that you've learned a little bit about Desmos, I'm going to open it up for questions. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch my presentation.